Have you ever wondered why getting pregnant again suddenly can be so difficult, even after you already had a child? Why do some parents who had no trouble for the first time find themselves facing month after month of disappointment? Or what can you actually do when you feel stuck between gratitude for your child and the longing for another? Today on your podcast, Fertility and Wholeness with Ariana, we're asking, what really causes secondary infertility? And if there is hope for families who feel their story isn't finished yet, stick around. We'll share a real story, break down the science, and offer practical steps you can take right now. Welcome to Fertility and Wholeness Podcast. Are you tired of seeing that test be negative month after month? Will you ever stop having to take test after test? Are you scared of all the medical terminology, office visits, and misinformation you see at every turn on your infertility journey? If you answer yes to any of those, you're not alone. You are at the right place. I'm so happy you're here with us. My name is Ariana. I'm a fertility care practitioner and a wholeness coach with over a decade of experience on the field. I created this podcast because I know what it is to feel alone and lost while navigating fertility problems. And after helping hundreds of women, teaching them how to not protract their cycles, boost their fertility, and navigate their monthly emotional roller coaster and get pregnant naturally, I am on a mission to empower women to take charge of their fertility journey. In this podcast, you will find heartfelt conversations, education, tips on how to take care of and understand your fertility, emotional support, simple lifestyle changes to boost your fertility, nutrition, self-care routines, tips for handling stress and anxiety with ease. We have amazing, exciting expert interviews and guests, inspirational stories, and practical advice on preparing for pregnancy and joyful delivery. Are you ready to reclaim your health, your life, and become pregnant naturally? If so, grab your green juice and prenatal vitamins. This episode is just what the doctor ordered. Welcome to Fertility and Wholeness with Ariana. I'm Ariana, your host, and this is the show where we bring hope, science, and real stories to your fertility journey. If you're new here, this podcast is all about supporting you through the ups and downs of building a family. Today, we're diving into a topic that is often overlooked but affects so many: secondary infertility. You'll hear Laney's journey from years of not knowing what to do to finding answers and hope. And we'll explore, what can you do if you're facing similar struggles? Whether you're seeking answers, reassurance, or simply a sense of connection, this episode is for you. Let's get started. Recognizing the many phases of secondary infertility. If you're struggling to grow your family after having a child, you're not alone. Secondary infertility affects up to 11% of couples in the United States, but every story is unique. For some, this is your second round of infertility. You have faced this before and know the emotional roller coasters. For others, this is all new. Maybe your first child came easily, but now, despite everything being said, you can't conceive or carry to term. Some are facing recurrent miscarriages after a healthy first child. Others had a child when they were younger, decided to wait, and now they're ready, but they're not getting answers. Maybe you have remarried and never experienced this before, or you had a sterilization reversal and are hoping for a new beginning. For some, new health conditions have impacted your fertility, or you're noticing changes in libido, energy, and even in your relationship. Maybe one of you is more committed to growing your family than the other one, which can feel isolating. No matter your path, your feelings are valid, and you're part of a community that understands. But what is secondary infertility? Let's start with the definition. Secondary infertility is when you're unable to conceive or carry a pregnancy to term after having one or more children without treatments. The key difference from primary infertility is that you have already had a baby, but now, for reasons that might be unclear, it's just not happening. Secondary infertility comes with its own set of emotional challenges. Guilt. I should be grateful I have one child. Personal or social pressure. The expectation to give your child a sibling or to complete your family. Maybe you have walked this road before and carry trauma from the journey, and now you're hesitant to start all over again. Perhaps your first pregnancy was easy, and now you're blindsided by this new struggle. And then there is the pain of pregnancy loss after a healthy first child. Pressure stays strong for your living children, and the lingering feeling that your family isn't quite complete. Adding the factors like your age, the age gap between children, your partner's support, or even the desire to experience both a son and a daughter is a lot to carry. Sometimes life is just exhausting. Maybe you're dealing with different libidos or feeling alone if your partner isn't as invested in trying again. If this sounds familiar, know that your feelings are valid, and I am here with you through it. But why does secondary infertility happen? Secondary infertility can have many causes and it can affect both men and women. Here are some common reasons with real life examples. First one is age. Egg and sperm quality can decline over time, especially if there is a long gap between children. Health changes. Conditions like thyroid disorders, diabetes, and even surgeries can impact fertility. For example, a C-section can sometimes cause scarring. Lifestyle factors, changes in weight, increased stress, and new medications, or even environmental exposures like chemicals at work or in your home can play a role. Hormonal imbalances, conditions like silent PCOS or endometriosis may not have shown up before, but it can develop over time. Vitamin deficiencies, low vitamin D, iron, and other nutrients can affect ovulation and implantation. Physical issues, cysts, fibroids, poor quality ovulation, or issues with the sperm quality like varicocele can all be factors. And unexplained causes, sometimes there is really no clear reason, which can be especially frustrating. If you're experiencing symptoms like premenstrual spotting, brown bleeding, unusual short or long cycles, or abnormal bleeding, these can all be clues that something deeper is going on. Can I just be real for a second? I really need to get this off my chest. Let's talk about what's not okay. I have to take a moment here and just say this whole situation gets to me. As a fertility care practitioner, in honesty, it hurts me to see so many women suffering in silence, stuck with this endless loop of trying to figure out things on their own. I see women who have spent months, sometimes years, Googling, tracking, buying every supplement, being on endless sticks, and is still not getting real answers. And I get it. We're told to be resourceful, to try everything ourselves first. But here's the thing. When DIY goes for more than 6 months, it can actually delay the crucial care you deserve. Time matters, and your health matters. And while we're at it, can we please talk about how secondary infertility is barely spoken about? If you're a man with one child, you're constantly asked, so when is the next one? Or, don't you want to give them a sibling? If it's just a matter of a choice, people mean well, but those questions can feel like daggers when you are already struggling. Only child syndrome myth gets thrown around as if having one child is some kind of failure or a flaw. For so many, it's not by choice, and it's not for a lack of trying. I wish more people understood that secondary infertility is real. It is painful, and it's not something that you can relax your way out of it. If you're in this place, you deserve real answers, real support, and real compassion. No more pressure or unsolicited advice. Okay, rant over. But I had to say it because if you're listening and you feel this way, I want you to know I see you, I get it, and I'm fighting for better for all of us. To bring this to life, let me share Laney's story, a journey that might sound a lot like your own. Picture Laney sitting on the living room floor, finishing a puzzle with her daughter. She smiled, but inside, she wished her daughter could have a sibling, a friend for life. For 4 years, Laney tried everything she can find online, listening to podcasts, tracking her LH search with strips, and following every tip about fertility. She always thought it would just happen if I keep trying. But month after month, nothing changed. One day, while listening to a podcast, Laney heard about nanotechnology. She was over 40 and she knew that made things harder. Something inside of her said, don't give up. Look into this. She booked her initial consultation right away. At her first appointment, Laney was told she could stop testing her urine every day. Instead, she will learn to track her body natural signs, like cervical mucus, as a diagnostic tool. This was a huge relief. She finally felt like she wasn't in the dark anymore. During our sessions, Laney shared how she had already made so many healthy changes, but it still feels stuck. Together, we looked at other areas that could affect fertility, like stress management and exercise. My goal was to help Laney feel her best and give her the best chance at pregnancy by optimizing every area of health. She quickly noticed that she had more energy and could care for her daughter better. But Laney was honest. She didn't want to spend years hoping. She said, I'll give this my all for a year. If it doesn't happen, I'll close this chapter. Many women feel this way, tired and ready for answers, not endless waiting. We discovered that Laney wasn't ovulating. With the right medication and support, her ovulation returned, but she still wasn't pregnant. She stayed hopeful but realistic. Being over 40 was a challenge. After one of our sessions, her cycle looked so healthy that her hope returned. 2 weeks later, I got an email from Laney. It had just one line and a photo. Can you help me read these results? Is this real? It was a positive pregnancy test. After 4 years of trying, Laney was pregnant. Laney's journey is a proof that small, focused steps can lead to hope and real change. Here's how you can start, just like she did. Step 1. Give yourself permission to feel. Laney allowed herself to acknowledge her longing, frustration, and hope. Take a moment to write down your emotions or share them with you trust. This is a powerful step in healing and moving forward. Step 2, Laney moved from endless urine tests to learning about her own body signals, especially cervical mucus. Start tracking your cycle, not just ovulation strip. By learning to observe your body's natural sign, this can reveal patterns and empower you with information that is crucial for both fertility and overall health. Step 3, seek expert guidance. You don't have to navigate this on your own. Laney's turning point was booking that first consultation. If you are feeling stuck, consider reaching out to a fertility specialist, a fertility care practitioner like me, or a naprotechnology doctor. Sometimes a single conversation can open new doors and save you months or even years of uncertainty. Infertility, whether primary or secondary, is a sign that something isn't working as it should. No matter the outcome, it is always worth investigating because your health matters. And so does the health of your family. It's about more than just having another baby. It's about being present and healthy for the ones that you love. Issues like thyroid disorders, PCOS, endometriosis, and even chronic stress can all show up in your cycle. So tracking is a powerful diagnostic tool. And if you're ready for support, I invite you to join my free monthly introductory session. In this session, you will learn how to track your cycles with a precise tool. Understand what your cervical mucus is telling you. This is not just about your fertility window, but your overall health. We'll cover clues like premenstrual spotting, brown bleeding, dry cycles, abnormal bleeding, and how stress can affect your cycle. You will also have a space to ask your questions and get tailored answers. You will leave with a clear next step, whether you want to work with an upper doctor or just to understand your body. You can reserve your spot using the link in the show notes. Remember, support is here for you. And sometimes the smallest step can lead to the biggest changes. Secondary infertility can feel isolating, but you're not alone. There is hope and there is options. Whether your path leads to another child or a new sense of peace and health, your story matters. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this episode helpful, please share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you have a story to share, reach out. I love to hear from you. And don't miss our next episode for National Fertility Awareness Week, where we all break the silence by sharing multiple short stories from listeners about their journeys. It is all about building community and normalizing conversations around infertility. Until next time, I'm Mariana, your host, and this is your podcast, Fertility and Wholeness. Take care of yourself, and remember, you are more than your fertility. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, we got a special treat for you. Join our free Facebook group where you can connect with other amazing women and share your thoughts. Join us by clicking in the link in the show notes. We can't wait to welcome you into our supportive community. And don't forget to come back for our next episode, where we'll be sharing even more inspiring stories, encouraging tips, educational insights, and practical strategies. Oh, and before you go, we have a tiny favor to ask. If you found today's episode uplifting and helpful, please leave us a review. It's like giving us a virtual hug, and it helps other amazing women like you find our show.
Plus, it makes us smile from ear to ear. And hey, why stop there? Share the love. Tell your Betsies, your mom, your sister, and even your favorite barista about our podcast. The more, the merrier.